Trade Secrets is back. The latest from Podnews.net with critically acclaimed, highly addictive CBC podcasts. One of the original podcasts, Trade Secrets with Dave Weiner and Adam Curry, has returned to podcast apps. The podcast ran from September 2004 to January 2005 and includes discussions about the name podcasting, iPodder, the open nature of the medium, and old-fashioned cell phones.
Hi everybody, this is Trade Secrets. I'm Adam Curry, sitting here nice and pretty in Curry Castle in Belgium.
Hey, it's Dave Weiner here. I'm not very pretty, but I'm in Seattle, Washington.
I said I was sitting pretty, I didn't say I was pretty.
With the permission of both Dave and Adam, we've given it a modern RSS feed so you can listen in your own podcast app. It's also available in any new podcast app that uses the podcast index. And as Dave Weiner points out in his blog, XML, the format used in RSS, was 25 years old on Friday. We need to do a better job, says Elsie Escobar, of keeping our own historical records. She's written a post focusing on 4 black podcast creators today. Meanwhile, the Earbuds Podcast Collective, which celebrates its 6th anniversary this week, shares podcasts about black history. Audio storytelling podcast network Realm sees the best marketing opportunities for new shows in dynamically inserted ads in their own network, which work almost 10 times better than ad swaps, the company says. The team will do a Reddit Ask Me Anything tomorrow in /r/podcasting. Spotify has signed another exclusive. Comedy show VAD met I Just Want to Be Cool. It's Sweden's biggest Gen Z show. It started in 2020 and was with Bauer Media's Podplay. The FTC, the US trade regulator, has signalled that it will look closer at endorsement in podcast ads. In short, if you've not tried a product, don't pretend you have. And we thought that too as we were reclining in our brand new Range Rover. We're linked to the Hindenburg team demonstrating the new Hindenburg Pro version 2 if you want to see that. Troy Price writes about his impressions and learnings from Podfest in Orlando. In Q8 STC, a telecoms company ran a workshop about podcasting, and radio isn't dying in South Africa, but an academic says podcasts are growing, even if mobile data is expensive in the country. And have you helped podcasting yet? The Podnews report card will take you just minutes to fill in, but it's the best way to tell everyone about the good and bad about the podcast platforms we all use. And who knows, might enable them to fight for more resource. Please join your colleagues and fill it in today. It's at podnews.net/report card. And in podcast news, as we mentioned earlier, Trade Secrets. It's one of the oldest podcasts in the world. Episode 1 was recorded before the name podcast had even been chosen. It also didn't have an image thumbnail. Apple added those the following year. Hey, live from everywhere at any time, it's nothing at all. Dave Weiner and Adam Curry's show returns to podcast apps today. Trailer Park, the podcast Trailer Podcast, is new today from Ariel Nissenblatt and Tim Villegas. We feature one short trailer on each episode and then discuss it a bit, they say. The goal is to help listeners find shows they'll love and to help creators get their projects funded and learn best practices for audio creation. And Podnews' new podcast trailers feed, of course, contains a trailer for Trailer Park, the podcast Trailer Podcast, because that's how it works. You can find more trailers every day from the Podnews newsletter, delivered right to your podcast player. You'll find that at podnews.net/trailers. The Athletic Football Show contains a mini-series that starts today, Between the Lines, a show about what it means to be black in the NFL. Tashan Reed talks to more than 24 people involved with the NFL to discuss their experience operating in an organisation that has historically been run by white men and failed to support or promote diversity. And Equal Parts is a series of true love stories about how people meet, and it returns for a new season today, Valentine's Day. From secretive workplace flirtations to seduction by poetry to a bewildering connection found at 30,000 feet. Each story is told by the couple that lived it. This podcast is sponsored by CBC Podcasts, the Africa's versus America podcast, chronicles black liberation organisation MOVE and how Philadelphia came to drop a bomb on its own citizens. You'll find it wherever you get your podcasts. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.